Hey everyone, Max Power 10. Today I want to focus on what I would consider team play, and I break out the components of working as a team. I break it into four categories, which is basically securing the objective, then defending it, taking out the enemy air support, and then finally killing the enemy. Working as a team is much different than playing as an individual. And as you go on as an individual and you go into a game, many people just focus on number four, which is just taking out the enemy. So they just run around and kill everybody, which can work well on your individual stats, but in a team-based objective game, it doesn't matter if you go 50-5. It's not going to necessarily win you the game. I know a lot of people might use the excuse, well, if I'm taking out the enemy players, that's making it easier for your team. And I agree that that's true, as long as your team is working on the other things, which is objective 1 and 2, which is getting the objective and defending it. So regardless of how many people you kill or how good your KD is or how well you did in the game, if your teammates or no one on your team picked up the other components, then it doesn't really make a difference. So here, this game is Bootleg Domination, and there's just myself and Taupe, one other IMAX clan member in this game, and we basically have 4 randoms. And what I've found, it's with our clan, we don't always get to get a full party going. We'd like to have 4, but sometimes there's only 2 or 3 of us, and I find it difficult with less than 4 people because, as I mentioned, obtaining the objective and defending of the objective are really your first 2 core components in objective games, and then having someone dedicated to air, and then killing the enemy as your, I guess, 4th priority. Having 4 people makes it much easier because you can dedicate 1 to air, and you can dedicate 1 to obtaining and 1 to defending. But when there's only 2 people, what happens is we're kind of forced to not only take the objective but also defend it and also take out the enemy air support. So it's a lot of work for 2 people, because you'll find the other 4 people tend to just run around and kill everything and not even worry about the objective. So I'm going to, for this map, B I think is key to this map. I don't ever want to lose this point, which is why you see I continue to attack insert it and then go back for try to get the other point. Why my teammate Taupe is trying to get C, I'm trying to get A. So hopefully between the 2 of us we'll get 1 point or the other. The reason why I like B is that I think it's just easier to get to both A and C from B. I prefer to have B and C because if they spawn the C side, many times they spawn down this main street where I'm on now, and they can look straight at B from their spawn point. So they basically spawn in there's a lot of times the enemy team will be in their sight, so they can just start shooting or sniping down this long main street. So definitely I think B and C are the best points on this map, but you can win with B and A, and I don't know. I guess you can win with A and C. I've done it once before, but it's very, very, very hard. So I definitely would go hold B as long as you can. So I'll continue to attack insert B, and I'll try my best not to lose it. But again, with team play, like I said, when there's just 2 of you or 3 of you, you're kind of stuck doing a lot of the work, which is getting the objective and defending it. And then depending on how well the other team is, you may even be stuck taking out a lot of the air support. So if you can find support players, it's definitely good. I don't understand why sometimes everybody on objective games, especially when they play kind of a lone wolf status, is so insistent on going out and getting kills, because I find it more difficult to get kills if you don't hold the flags, because if you at least hold the flags, you know where the enemy spawn points are. If you're just running around aimlessly and grabbing flags, then the spawn points are much more random, and I feel that it makes it more difficult to not get shot in the back. So I lose B here for a minute, and I'm able to quickly grab it back. You got to be careful when calling in care packages and other drops, because that bridge above me makes it difficult where people tend to not call them incorrectly, and things will land on the bridge. You won't be able to get to it. So this map is a very dark map. It's very small. It does have the triangle A, B, and C for domination points. This is a great map for traps, you know, claymores and bouncing betties and shotguns, rocket launchers, anything with a short, close range weapons, because it's not very big. This center atrium building gets a lot of action. Good place for an IMS or bouncing betty. So this is definitely a map where I'd probably make sure you have some good short range weapons and maybe Stalker Pro. And like I said, it's also very dark, so if your brightness isn't too high on the TV, there's a lot of people that camp in corners and just wait for you to run by. So here we've managed to triple cap them. Again, I'm going to try to hold B because I do think it's the key point of this game. I'm running Hardline Pro so I can continue to bring up UAVs as much as possible, because I think the more UAV, the team, in my mind, if you have an evenly stacked team, the more UAVs you have, the team with the most UAVs and counting UAVs is likely the team to win, if the teams are pretty much balanced. Here you can see up top left, someone got a care package stuck on that roof. So yeah, just need to be careful calling in care packages. The ballistic vests, you can see somebody is running those, which I think are very helpful. So if you do see the ballistic vests, they give you, I think, about 30% more damage, so it's enough to take another bullet or two. So definitely for those running assault streaks, I think they're well. And here you can see I got an assault drone off my care package. And you'll see here in this map, I'm not a big fan of kill streaks, reward streaks that take the player off the map. So anything that makes the player control the unit, so like an assault drone or a Reaper, an AC-130. I mean, they're very helpful for kills, but they don't always help with the map that well, because what happens is if you call in an airstrike or a payload, or something, a predator missile is really quick, but definitely a helicopter or something that just comes in that you don't actually have to control. You can still control the map. You still maintain your gun on the map. So, but here, by using the assault drone, what's happening is that I'm running around with the assault drone trying to get kills, and then I'm not controlling position. I'm not controlling the B flag, which ultimately will allow us to end up losing it. So had I had like a payload van, which I had earlier, and I could still control the map, I probably would have held B and not had to lose it and go back for it. Or I could have given somebody, maybe a random. I could let him take the assault drone. But I've done it before, where I've given up care packages to random players and they don't use them correctly. So it's one of those. It's one of those, should you control it, you should give it up for somebody else to control. We also get a Juggernaut on our team that doesn't seem to do, you see there's a corner camper, like I said, in the dark. But the Juggernaut on the team doesn't seem to do a lot. He walks around a little bit, but doesn't, I think he only caps one flag, which, if I had Juggernaut, I'd probably try to cap all 3 flags. So, but yeah, going back to the team objective-based games, it's very important to understand that your first goal in any objective game is to get the objective. So that should always be goal 1, and then second should be defending it, and then taking out the air should be third. I mean, the last thing you should be worried about is kills. I mean, kills will come naturally. Everyone's going to try to kill, but if you focus on running around killing everybody on the other team, and you have you don't care about the objectives, you don't help get the objectives, you don't help defend them, and you don't take out the enemy air. If you just run around and kill the entire enemy team, well, if you're a good player, that works well, but if all 6 of you are doing that, you're going to have problems. So, you can see here, you don't ever, as a team, you should never let an enemy get Osprey gunner or emergency airdrop or any of those high kill streaks. You want to take those out immediately. And good teams will not allow much in the air. They'll take out every UAV they see. So hopefully these tips give you will help you out and help you in your team play. Till next time, Max Bear out. Thanks for watching.